okay, we only have a limited amount of money in the business account and everybody needs to eat this month. How much money do you need? Like, do you have to survive? How much money do you have to survive? Like, we're able to have a lot of those conversations. I will say, like, I think probably two things that we have in our business that we value, that we have in our relationship, whatever, that I think a lot of people can get tripped up by in this whole process is like, we actually, even though we want to go build things with money, we don't need money for us. So we don't care whether we have money today. It's just not a...
Listen, it's important. It's important to provide. It's important to provide.
I like being able to buy nice things for my wife or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. But
You've got to be able to provide for your family, and that's crucial. But to let money become this object that is supreme above all else.
Oh yeah. Our household decreased in our income for several years, and got in a lot of debt. And like it was a tough time. There were a lot of hard conversations where Casey was like, "Oh yeah, so when do we quit on this thing?" And I was like, "No, we're just around the corner." It's like, how many times are you gonna tell me that? And the promises we've made to our wives. But I think she was able to come along through that whole process because it was never about us having money. It was never about us having status or whatever kind of thing. And so she was okay with it. And so I know when we've had to have hard conversations about like, okay, we only have a limited amount of money in the business account and everybody needs to eat this month. How much money do you need? Like, do you have to survive? How much money do you have to survive? Like, we're able to have a lot of those conversations in the early kind of rougher days.
Yep.
Because
when I'm not making a transaction for the first 6 months.
You freeloader.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You've made up way more for that.
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah. But it's like, I had done some early deals and stuff, but I don't care that you are taking that money because I see it as the investment and where we're all trying to go together instead of like, I need mine now so that I can go buy my car or do my thing, whatever.
Yep. I don't think I've ever seen, I don't know of any other businesses or like what we're in, like the relationship we have. I don't know of anybody else. Maybe some families, but their families typically have a lot
there's a lot of very open communication about a lot of stuff. Yeah. I mean, I think anybody who's really high level, successful business partners has to have that. And like the ones, otherwise you just fail. Like, I don't see how you don't have that.
Yeah.
But what's interesting too is like on the other side of that, because there's like really great things about, hey, what do we need and how we help each other? How do we serve each other? There's also this, and this is the tension that somehow we walk, is like, there's also this way that you can like screw each other over without even realizing it and not being fair. And like, we've had to have all kinds of hard conversations, usually like brought on by Mr. Justice over here. Just the perspective that you have on a lot of that stuff of like, we have to balance this out and make this right. And, that it provides so much protection, even of our relationship with each other, because we know, well, we're not going to get away with like, freeloading and ripping each other off. And so we're going to, we have to work through that and figure out what makes it fair with each other.
Yeah. What makes it fair? Where can we actually bear one another's burdens in a way? It's the kind of thing where I didn't have transactions for the longest time. And so I just helped, it's just like I had what I saved up. And then like a tax return I was going to get.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, if you're not completing transactions, and I don't get through that point, and then there were, I could keep that to myself.
Right.
I could keep that to myself.
Suffer in silence or something. Yeah, I like that.
And not look. There's a way in which you could look at that and I could just be a freeloader.
Right.
And I just looking for a handout. And there's also a way in which we don't get through that and get to the other side of it. At least I know I don't, and my level of involvement with whatever the real estate business is would be this, it just fizzle out because I wouldn't last.
Right.
If I don't actually get that help at the time. So, it's like needing to have money. Money's not the supreme thing.
Right.
Money's not the supreme thing. I think credit for ideas.
Yep. Like not having to be the guy who came up with the thing. Yeah.
No, that's right. That's right.
No, because there have been so many ideas that we've had that of either things to do or things to not do or whatever that have been like totally wrong. We've made so many stupid decisions and like horrible decisions, and being willing to admit quickly when you screwed up, because you're not so concerned about being so impressive and getting the credit or something like that, that you're like, okay, so we're not going to do that thing. We're going to move on and go this other direction.
Yeah, that's right.
And to be willing to be like, ooh, you just had a really good idea and we need to do that thing.
Yep.
Like it requires both kind of this like openness to like exploring and a new thing and whatever, but also like, no, you can have really good ideas. No, they don't have to be for me.
No, that's right.
Like they don't have to be my ideas that win the day. We have to figure out a good mechanism for letting ideas win instead of just like doing whatever we feel like. But they don't have to be my ideas or your ideas or your ideas. And
No,
we're
that's
all
right.
okay with that. And that's why it ends up being this blend. Like it ends up really being a cooperative effort. Like that's actually this corporate thing that we're building as a group.